Hi, my name is Mike Doran. Sometimes I'm also known as Methane Mike, and I want to talk a little bit about a topic I called electrics, or the Earth magnetic field effect on climate and weather. In the climate change debate, there's been quite a bit of news lately about Antarctica warming, and I'm going to show you a graphic that recently made a lot of websites. This is from Real Climate, and what it does is it shows a picture of where the warm parts are from 1957 to 2006. So again, you can see that there's a specific location where warming has occurred, and what I want to show you is how it matches up with where the Earth magnetic field was. The Earth magnetic field does move a little bit, can move as much as 40 kilometers in a single day, but generally speaking, that location of the Earth magnetic field over Antarctica, it's actually, they call it the south magnetic field, but if you had a bar magnet and it was analogous to what the Earth magnetic field is, that's actually the north pole of the field. Now, what's interesting, of course, is that the warm anomalies match where the south magnetic field pole is, or a north magnetic field if you were talking about it in like a bar magnet. The other thing that is frequently brought up in the climate debate, of course, the warmers bring out that from the MSU data that climate is warmer. The so-called skeptics bring out the fact that the warming is in a particular location. This is from the MSU data, and again, what it shows is that the Earth magnetic field is strongest in, strike that, what it shows is that the warming anomalies per the MSU data are greatest in the nether reaches, the north reaches of the Earth. Also, there are many reports of the melting of the Arctic ice sheet, some models suggesting that it will be gone within the next 30 or 40 years. What those studies show, or what they capture, is, in my view, an electrical phenomenon. And not only is the melting ice interesting by how it's melting, but also when it's melting. It actually is melting to its greatest extent, and we had a record melt in 2007, but 2008 wasn't that much different if you are looking specifically when the anomalies are occurring, and they are occurring in the summer, and they're coming, like a bell-shaped curve on either side of the summer. Well, what's interesting about that? What's interesting about that is that's when lightning is at its strongest. It's at its strongest at that time for the reason that the northern hemisphere has more land, and because it has more land, there's more lightning there during its summer. Lightning occurs about 90% over land. So if the northern hemisphere, which has more land than the southern hemisphere, and doesn't have land over the poles, you're going to have most of your displacement current in the global electric circuit is going to be pronounced in the summertime in the northern hemisphere. The fact that the Earth magnetic field is also showing up where the anomalies are is also very interesting. My view is the anomalies are showing up, and it is related to carbon dioxide. Instead of CO2 to heat to cloud behaviors, it's CO2 directly to cloud behaviors by way of the fact that CO2 has a conductivity meaning, particularly in tropical storms, and it's affecting the northern hemisphere much more strongly because it's a question of power is equal to current squared times resistance. It's a very simple way of thinking about the global electric circuit. When your current goes up from greater lightning, the fact that CO2 has a resistance meaning becomes more pronounced in the summertime. That's when those anomalies are going to show up. And so what's been lacking in the climate change debate is the regional changes and how they're explained here. The warmers jump on these things that are occurring, but don't explain them well, and it's because their mechanism of CO2 as a greenhouse gas is flawed. The skeptics, when they point out things that are awry, do not explain what could possibly be causing these things to occur the way they are. This is Methane Mike Doran, checking you out.